All right, let's go ahead and get started. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the County of Los Angeles Citizen Redistricting Commission special meeting. Today is December 10th, 2021, and the time is 1:08 p.m. We will now call the special meeting to order. For this meeting, we have available interpretation services. For those who are joining via Zoom, please select your preferred language by clicking on the interpretation button at the bottom of your Zoom screen, which is a globe icon. Select English or Spanish. You then can choose to mute the original audio for clearer interpretation. If you do not choose a language, you will not hear the interpretation. Please select a channel so your comments do not conflict with the interpretation. As a reminder to the public, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed to youtube.com/LA County Redistricting. The link to the recording will also be posted and accessible through the Los Angeles County Redistricting website. If at any time any members of the public have any technical difficulties, please let us know in the Q&A and we can work towards fixing the issue. I will now take the roll. As a reminder, commissioner names will be called in a rotating alphabetical order by last name. Commissioners, please be prepared to unmute your mic and respond when your name is called. Commissioner Cider Soto, excused. Commissioner Brian Stetcher, excused. Commissioner John Vento.
Present.
Co-Chair Carolyn Williams.
Present.
Commissioner Dorina Wong.
Present.
Commissioner Jean Franklin.
Present.
Commissioner David Holtzman.
Present.
Commissioner Mary Kenny.
Present.
Co-Chair Daniel Maeda.
Present.
Commissioner Mark Mendoza.
Present.
Commissioner Apolonio Morales.
Present.
Commissioner Nelson Obregon.
Present.
Commissioner Priscilla Orpanella Segura. Commissioner Haile Soto.
Present.
Okay, a few notes regarding public comments before I hand it over to Co-Chair Williams. If you are interested in making a live oral public comment, you may submit in the Q&A your name, your affiliate organizations, if any, and that you would like to make a public comment. When you are called to make your public comment, you will be prompted to unmute your mic so you can speak. If you are participating via phone, press *9 to raise your hand. And once called upon, press *6 to unmute and speak. Each person will have one opportunity to speak for 1 minute per discussion or agenda item. When you begin making your comment, please share your name and any affiliation you may have. Again, the Q&A is for members of the public to sign up to make a live oral public comment. If you have additional comments you would like to make, including public comments for specific draft maps, they can be submitted to the public comment form. And you can find the link in the chat or on the CRC website. And submitting to the public comment form ensures that your written comments are accurately recorded. And filling out the public comment form, however, does not mean signing up to make an oral comment at today's meeting. Again, the only way to sign up to make an oral comment at today's meeting is by submitting your name, affiliate organization, and agenda item number to the Q&A. And if you're calling in via phone, press *9 to raise your hand. And with that, I'll go ahead and quickly go through the public comment form to show how to do that. So you can access the public comment form through the CRC website or the link in the chat. If you are on the CRC website on the homepage, select on Submit Comments for Meetings and Hearings. This will open up a new tab in your browser. Then you will need to enter in your first name and last name where the asterisks are. And to test it out, we will just put Q&Q. Here you can also attach any Word documents, Excel, or PDFs that you would like to be associated with your public comment. From there, you can select any agenda items, multiple if you would like, but you will need to select at least one agenda item. For instance, we can select 6A, discussion and potential approval of final maps. You will then need to select a position. You will have to choose one, either in favor, oppose, or other. Then you can leave a comment, and that is optional. And then once you're done putting in your public comment as well for the specific agenda item, go ahead and scroll down and enter into the bottom the security code. Once you enter in the security code, press next. It will take you to a verification page. Verify your information, including your public comment and your position on the specific agenda item, and then click acknowledge. Once you click acknowledge, that's when it submits to the database. So just to confirm, you would need to click acknowledge from the verification page to have it officially submitted to the database then it will be uploaded to the website after today's meeting. Okay. With that, I'll hand it back to Co-Chair Williams.
Thank you, Ty. There is a change to the agenda. We would like to move action item number 4, consent items, to after the discussion of the maps. We want to allow more time for public input at that time, for public comments at that time. If there are no changes, so we will move ahead.
All right, yes, that takes us to item number 5, which is closed session item. So let me just sort of introduce the item, and then we'll see if there's public comment, and then we will go into closed session. We're scheduled for closed session, a conference with legal counsel under anticipated litigation, government code sections 54956.9 subdivision D2. The number of potential cases is 1. And Ty, are there any public comments on closed session before we go into closed session?
Taking a quick look, I see none specifically for the closed session. We do have a couple hands up, but I'm assuming it's for 6A. Okay, with that, what you all will need to do is exit this Zoom meeting. It will still be maintained as open, and Gayla will put up that we're in closed session, and then you should rejoin the separate closed session Zoom, and then we will come back into here at the conclusion of that, and I will make any required reports out of closed session. We just did get one asking for litigation item they would like to speak.
Okay.
Okay. So let me go ahead and get that set up. Does the time also apply to this, Holly?
Yes, it's 1 minute.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get the timer set up. And so the one commenter we have on this is Josue Alvarado. So Josue, you will be able to unmute yourself, and once you begin speaking, you will have 1 minute.
Hello. Thank you so much for taking the time to hear my comments before you guys go to closed session. I just want to make sure that you guys do know that sometimes many groups or individuals, when you guys are going through this process, like to file lawsuits or threat of litigation to really force a commission or a governing body to either listen to their way or figure out a legal highway. A lot of people with attorney degrees love using this, but unfortunately it does not serve the greater good. Not knowing all the extent of the details of that, I just want to make sure that you guys have that in mind, that continue forward with the process, hearing everyone's comments and not allowing litigation to be the reason why you severely tweak one map over the other. Thank you.
Thank you. And just taking one more look, I do not see any other specifically for closed session.
Okay, we will now retire into closed session, and we'll come back out when that's concluded.
So Commissioner Obregon and Commissioner Mendoza, you can leave the Zoom room for now and then join the other Zoom link that was sent by Holly. Hi, Commissioner Orpinello Segura. The other commissioners are in the closed session at the moment. You should have received a link from Holly. So you can leave this Zoom room and then join the other Zoom link that Holly sent out for the closed session.
Sorry, Ty, I was on mute. Thank you.
All right, no worries.
Ty,
Yes.
Ty, I tried the link, but I was waiting for a minute or two. I'm not sure if Holly is able to see that I'm trying to join. Not sure if it'd be just best to wait here, or I don't know how long.
Yeah. So it's I would recommend trying to join if you can. I know what I would do is go ahead and log off here, try to join again, and just give Gayla a call because Gayla's already on the Zoom link as well.
I can't make calls. I'm not
Okay.
in the US, and I only have access to Wi-Fi right now. I don't have data, so
No
I'm not
problem.
able to make calls.
Let me go ahead and give Gayla a call then.
Okay, I'll go ahead and log in.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, are we just waiting for
Are
everybody?
we all back? Yeah, I'm thinking,
I think everybody's back.
yeah.
I think so.
Okay, good.
Okay, so the closed session is closed.
Yeah, and in terms of reporting out for purposes of the Brown Act, there was no reportable action taken in closed session. And so that takes us to the next agenda item.
Action item 6A, discussion and approval, potential approval of the final map. Gail, I believe you have some overview information for us on that.
I do. So what we have posted on the website and at the Hall of Administration are 2 map options. This is a visualization of map option B4. Ty Lay will be going over the details with you later as you begin the discussion after the public comment. This is the map option F3, which is the other one under consideration. I did want to sort of highlight the map differences between the 2 maps. And I also wanted to give the public sort of a context. These numbers I'm going to show you are what we call county-wide statistical areas. There are 348 of them in the County of Los Angeles. 87.
I should need to interrupt a point of information. You said that one map was this map and then the other map was the other map that's under consideration. But isn't it true that any of the maps that are posted on the hub can be considered under consideration still, because we haven't adopted a final map, or any map that anybody would like to submit can be under consideration, but certainly the ones that are now posted are all considered under consideration legally, right?
So thank
Oh,
you.
wait.
These 2 have been elevated, but we now are up to 101 maps that have been submitted as of the last hour, I believe.
But we're not limited to just talking about those 2.
Holly, do you want to add?
I was going to say, from a legal standpoint, you're not limited. And in fact, at the other meeting, most recent meeting, we talked about, looking at other maps that had come in then, or even that may come in the future, and comparing them and looking at these maps. These are conceptually the maps of focus. That does not mean people cannot provide public comment or that the commissioners cannot look at other maps and consider other maps.
So these were the 2 that were elevated at our last meeting. And all I want to do is provide a little bit of a context of where there are areas of overlap or differences. So what I was about to go through was there's something called CSAs. Those are the county-wide statistical areas. And they take into account the 88 cities, the 121 unincorporated areas. And in the case of Los Angeles City, it is broken down further into 139 communities. So if you just look at this particular table, these are sorted based on Plan B4, and in terms of listing all of the communities where there are differences between B4 and F3. So for example, if you look at East Whittier in B4, it's listed under Subsoil District 1, and in map F3, it's listed under 4. So if you were to focus on where there are differences, this list would be helpful. This other chart is the same information, but the sort is against F3. And so here's just another reverse way of looking at, in the event that you were to pick one of these as the base map to then work with to sort out the differences and to bring more commonality, or to maybe develop one map from the 2. And with that, I think we should open it up to public comment, co-chairs.
Yes, I agree. Before we do that, I just want to remind folks that if you're joining us on Zoom, at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there should be a little globe for interpretations. And you'll want to select either English or Spanish. We do have Spanish interpreters. So you want to do that. And just take a moment to thank our Spanish language interpreters. Angelica and Gloria have done a fantastic job and have on short notice appeared for us to help out. So thank you very much for that. But Ty, can we go ahead and should we start with the some of the folks on the phone and then switch over to the Q&A?
Yeah, so we actually only have one person calling in via phone and the rest are through Zoom.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and start with caller with phone number ending in 4201 and then Stephanie Lemus. So caller ending in 4201, you will have 1 minute. Okay, and as a reminder for people calling in, to unmute, press *6. So caller ending in 4201, whenever you are ready, please press *6.
Commissioner Stuart Waldman from VICA, I want to thank you. We appreciate maps B4 and F3. We'd like to see a few changes with maybe a few more people from the northern part of the valley in District 3, possibly uniting all of Granada Hills South Neighborhood Council, which is split right now. And some minor cleanups in terms of how precincts are cut versus the neighborhood council lines to make sure the neighborhood councils are whole. But largely, both maps work for the valley. I want to thank you, but if you could throw in another 20,000 valley residents into District 3, we'd appreciate that.
Thank you. Next, we have Stephanie Lemus and then Ron Vandermolen. Stephanie, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. First of all, good afternoon, commissioners, and thank you for all of your hard work. My name is Stephanie Lemus, and I represent Clínica Romero, a federally qualified health center serving over 11,000 patients with accessible, culturally sensitive, and quality healthcare services. And one of our sites is located in Pico Union. And so thank you for bringing up Pico Union and Westlake previously. These areas are rich with culture and unique and significant needs of the community. Needs that it shares with its community in MacArthur Park. And so Pico Union, Westlake, and MacArthur Park are a community of interest, and it would be very disruptive to its many service providers like Clínica Romero if they were in separate supervisorial districts. Additionally, it's very important that MacArthur Park stay connected with Echo Park and East Los Angeles in one supervisorial district. And so for these reasons, please reject map B4 and approve map F3.
Thank you. Next, we have Ron Vandermolen and then Ernesto Pantoja. Ron, you will have 1 minute.
I'm Ron Vandermolen from Pomona for 35 years. Thanks for all your hard work. I just want to comment on recent comments regarding splitting Pomona into 2 different districts. I think it's extremely important that Pomona stay one big city in District 1. And the split that's been looked at would take Fairplex away from our Pomona. Fairplex is a 100-year-old establishment that has been the main engine of economic the engine for Pomona for many, many years. And I would hate to see it go out. It needs to stay in District 1. I've lived in Pomona for a long time. I'm a planning commissioner here, and I think it's important that this city stay together. It's a very vibrant city with a lot of good things happening, and Fairplex is right at the heart of it. So I ask that you really consider keeping that district, it all into District 1, including our Fairplex. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ernesto Pantoja and then Pogo Salazar. Ernesto, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Ernesto Pantoja, calling on behalf of Sergio Rascon, business manager of Labor's Local 300. We're a local construction union headquartered here in the Pico Union area. And we're asking, we want to thank you for all that you've done. I know it's a difficult job, but we want to ask that you reject B4 and approve map F3. This area is actually a really interesting area. We have over 500 members just in this area alone. And to have this area split up between two supervisorial districts doesn't make any sense. It's already difficult enough for us as a union. We have thousands of members throughout the county of Los Angeles and having to deal with several supervisors throughout the county. But just within a 1 square mile area, we have about 500 members, and having to be able to communicate between two supervisorial districts when we're better served because of the communities of interest of MacArthur Park and Westlake and People Union, it doesn't make sense to have this place split up. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Pogos S. and then Jeanette Ellis-Royston. Pogos, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you again for your commitment to the county and the great work you're doing. Please look at map 100. It is a modified F3 to do what Commissioner Wong wanted, which was combine K-Town into SD1 and other API communities, while keeping SD1 a working class with San Gabriel Valley communities and Northeast LA communities and Pomona united. SD2 becomes the historic Black communities with LAX and El Segundo, sharing the beach communities with 3 districts, 2, 3, and 4. SD4 continues to remain a Latino CVAP district. SD3 unites the San Fernando Valley with whole into 1 district and keeping the Santa Monica Bay communities north of LAX and Malibu into that district. Please pay attention to this map. It actually solves a lot of the public comments that we've heard. It also in CD5 combines the foothill communities of the San Gabriel Mountains and the Santa Monica Mountains into 1 district. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Next, we have Jeanette Ellis-Royston and then Lena Mira. Jeanette, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeanette Ellis-Royston. I'm the president of the NAACP, also known as the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I want to thank the commissioners today for your months of hard work. I have attended your meetings off and on and fully appreciate the difficult and challenging responsibility you have ahead of you. I only have 1 minute, so I'm going to get to the point. I'm asking for you, please, to leave Pomona as 1. Please do not split Pomona into North and South. That is not something that we want. I do not see that as being a credible move at this time. It will cause a burden on those who rely on safety nets and resources and partnership, which we have built in the past. The city of Pomona is extremely diverse and we are stronger together. And I'm asking you please to leave it as 1. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Lena Mira and then Carol Crosby. Lena, you have 1 minute.
Hi, good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for all your efforts on the maps. My name is Lena Mira and I live in North Pomona. I am in favor of a map that keeps Pomona in District 1 and also keeps our city together. We are 1 city and we see each other as 1 city. Splitting a city like Pomona is super detrimental and it will have long-term consequences that we might not recover during this pandemic from. An example of our strength and unity is how our city came together during COVID. We organized across different sectors and came together as 1 city. The fair place is a critical part of Pomona. Dividing us all would be harmful in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Carol Crosby and then Allegra Padilla. Carol, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Carol Crosby, the president and CEO of the Whittier Area Chamber of Commerce. I am calling in this afternoon to thank you for all of your work and also to lend our support of F3. We represent over 550 businesses in Whittier in a community that is 88,000 residents strong. I really want to support F3 because we need to keep our gateway cities together. We have done important work as a unit over the past many years, and it is super important that we stay together to continue that important work along the 605 corridor and the gateway cities. In addition, I know the other map that is being presented as an option is B4, which splits the city of Santa Fe Springs into two. And much like the comments you've heard from residents of Pomona, I think I'd just like to lend my support to our neighboring city and the importance of keeping that city together as a unit. But most importantly, F3 is the option we'd like to support. Thank you.
Next, we have Allegra Padilla and then Juanita Trujillo. Allegra, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Allegra Padilla. I currently serve as Director of Community Relations and Partnerships for Levitt Pavilion, Los Angeles. We've been in the MacArthur Park area since 2007, hosting over 600,000 music lovers, both near and far. Our closest audience does come from Westlake, MacArthur Park, Pico Union, and Koreatown. For these reasons and more, we want to reject Map B4 and approve Map F3 to avoid further gerrymandering and unequal allocation of resources. The arts have been a second responder in COVID, and we would like to make sure that we have long-term sustainability through all political processes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Juanita Trujillo, then Henry Fung. Juanita, you will have 1 minute. Juanita?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, sorry about that. Hi, I'm Juanita Trujillo. I'm actually a council member for City of Santa Fe Springs. Been on council for about 13 years. And on behalf of myself as an elected official, we will actually reject B4 and we will love you guys to approve the F3 map. And the reason why is the gateway cities should all be kept together. Our businesses and organizations work so well together, and it helps us lobby together for the MTA projects, like the West Santa Ana branch, working on regional projects to address homelessness and supporting each other in different mutual constituents. So on my behalf, as a elected official for Santa Fe Springs, I would really like if the commission would reject B4 and approve map F3. Thank you.
Thank you. And I see two
I
hands.
have a question. Very briefly, gateway cities, can you specifically identify the gateway cities that you're speaking of?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're Santa Fe Springs, Bell Gardens, Norwalk, Whittier. I'm trying to think on top of my head other ones too. But we're very close with each other, and we work great we partner great with each other. And if you would break it up, I don't think it would help us in any which way.
But I'm looking for the names.
Santa Fe Springs?
Can you give me the list of the cities in which you consider as gateway cities?
Commissioner Franklin, we actually have a written submission already with all those cities.
It's from Whittier to Long Beach. It's literally from Whittier to Long Beach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
We'll share that with you.
Thank you.
Holtzman?
Commenter, your comment sounded very familiar. Have you offered it before?
No, this is the first time I've spoken to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have Henry Fung and then Karen Spilsbury. Henry, you have 1 minute.
Hello, good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Henry Fung, and I just want to remind the commissioners of the deadline that you have all set, Sunday. There is only 2 days for the maps to be completed in order for the proper time to be given to write the legal description and get to the registrar's office. So I want to remind the commissioners that please do not make the perfect the enemy of the good. I think both maps are good. They're not great. They're not outstanding. May not be even very good, but both maps are good. And we need to work off these maps and not expand the universe of maps. We need the commissioners to focus in on the task ahead of them and not be dilatory. And we also need the commissioners to look at comments from everybody and not, for example, in Pomona, where you have one person that wants to split the city. Do not let one person or a few people derail the discussions of the commission into selecting one map so that we can do our job legally. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Karen Spilsbury and then Mayor John Mora. Karen, you will have 1 minute.
Hi, this is Karen Spelsbury. I'm the Executive Director of the Norwalk Chamber of Commerce and also the Executive Director of the Gateway Chambers Alliance. I'm speaking on behalf of supporting MAP F3. Our gateway cities enjoy a great relationship working together over many years to bring our businesses and our residents needed resources. We work together on different projects and different programs. We do not want to see the cities of Santa Fe Springs and Norwalk split into two different districts. And we encourage you to support MAP F3 and reject MAP B4. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mayor John Mora and then Yelena Zeltzer. Mayor John Mora, you have 1 minute.
Hey, good afternoon, commissioners. Is my mic on, I'm assuming?
Yes, yes.
Okay, first and foremost, thank you so much for the time. And yes, I also am in favor of F3. It was previously stated before, we do have Gateway Cities Coalition all along the 605 corridor from Long Beach up to Whittier. And we would like to stay in District 4. One of the reasons for opposing B4 and supporting F3 is that all of our surrounding cities were able to lobby together for the common good of all our constituents. Furthermore, one of our cities just slightly to the north with, Whittier, we share their Whittier Police Department. We shared school districts between the two cities. And, just the commonality for everybody in the area is just, we have a really strong bond with council and also management. So I urge you, oppose B4, and I'm in full support of F3. Thank you for your time and happy holidays.
Okay, and I see a hand from Commissioner Orpanela Segura.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Mora. I might have missed it. Did you share what city you're representing?
Yeah, the city of Santa Fe Springs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Yelena Zeltzer and then Paula Devine. Yelena, you will have 1 minute.
Hello, good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Yelena Zeltzer, and I work with the Southeast Asian Community Alliance. We're a community serving organization based in Chinatown, and we serve low-income youth and families. We wanted to speak today in support of MAP F3. This map keeps us together with our surrounding communities of interest. MAP B4 inexplicably separates Chinatown from our neighboring communities of Solano Canyon, Victor Heights, and Lincoln Heights, and separates us from the State Historic Park, which is a big resource for our community. In addition, it separates us from other low-income AAPI communities in San Gabriel Valley, with which we share lots of interests. So please support MAP F3. Thank you.
Okay, and I see a hand from Commissioner Holtzman. Commissioner Holtzman, you're muted.
Sorry, quick question. Have you seen map 98? Because I think it addresses most of the concerns you just raised.
Could I urge the commissioners not to engage in conversation with the commenters, please? Just questions for clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, can I ask a question for clarification, just because that went by a little bit quickly? And then do you mind, please just say exactly what's wrong with B4?
Oh, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yes, hi there. So it separates Chinatown from our nearby communities and places in a different supervisorial district from our nearby communities with which we share historic interests and just shared interests. We work with our fellow folks in Solano Canyon and Victor Heights and Lincoln Heights on various community issues.
Okay, great. Thank you, Yelena. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to Paula Devine and then Dr. Gary Gonzalez. Paula, you have 1 minute.
All right, thank you very much for listening. First of all, I'm the mayor of Glendale, and I'm just here to advocate that the city of Glendale not be split for any reason into two supervisorial districts. And also, I am here to advocate for the classification of the Tri-City area of Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena as a community of interest. and it's continued inclusion within the District 5. You know, there are many reasons for this. Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena work together on many joint ventures like the Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena Airport Authority. And as president of that authority, I can tell you that Pasadena plays a very integral role in the commission. We are also working with the Arroyo Verdugo Committee, with all of the cities in our area, Tri-Cities. We are consistently coordinating on regional transportation initiatives. We are currently working on a BRT system through our.
Time is up. Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, we have Dr. Gary Gonzalez and then Jessica Panduro. Dr. Gonzalez, you will have 1 minute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. So thank you very much, committee. And I'm speaking on behalf of the South Whittier School District. My name is Gary Gonzalez. I'm the superintendent. I support map F3. Map F3 is the only map that keeps the gateway cities together, and from Whittier in the north to Long Beach in the south, whereas map B4 separates Whittier and La Mirada from the rest of the gateway cities. And it split Santa Fe Springs and Norwalk into 2 districts. And that's unacceptable. I want to let you know that we like to stay together in supervisorial district number 4. So we definitely support map F3 and oppose map B4. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Jessica Panduro, then Lisa Michelle Dabbs. Jessica, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, commissioners. I would like you all, if you can reference map 101. This map makes minor modifications to map F3. Rather than a whole new configuration, this response map is slightly alteration to map F3, intended to uplift community preference and strengthen the ability to elect candidates of choice while working with the commissioner's existing structure. It keeps the San Fernando Valley whole in SD3 to follow Commission's guidance on coastal configuration. It respects District 5 and creates an entertainment district uniting Hollywood, Hollywood Hills, Universal City, Toluca Lake, and Burbank. It unites the Asian COIs in District 1, stretching from Thai Town to the East San Gabriel Valley. And it takes the best from maps B4 and F3 within District 2, bringing B4's version to Skid Row and downtown into F3 configuration. Again, it creates an entertainment in Hollywood by moving Hollywood, Hollywood Hills, Universal City, Toluca, and Griffin to SD5. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Lisa Michelle Dabbs and then Mayor Tim Sandoval. Lisa, you will have 1 minute.
Thank you. I want to thank the commissioners for their hard work. My name is Lisa Michelle Dabbs. I am the vice president of the East Whittier City School District, and I'm a resident of the city of Whittier. And like those before me who have urged the commission, I request the commission to reject map B4 and approve map F3. I would like to urge the commission to do this because, as you've heard already, the gateway cities want to stay together. We also want to stay together in Area 4. As gateway cities, we are very closely aligned, as you have heard, from Whittier all the way down to Long Beach and San Pedro in the south. The gateway cities should be kept together. We have businesses and organizations in all these cities who work together to lobby for many projects. And on behalf of the constituents and all the children that I represent in the East Whittier City School District, map F3 will be the one that continues to support us to receive the much needed resources that our children require for our districts to thrive in District 4. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Mayor Tim Sandoval and then Ernest Lee. Mayor Tim Sandoval, you will have 1 minute.
Thank you, commissioners, for your months of hard work. I'm Tim Sandoval, resident and mayor of the city of Pomona. At the last meeting, several of you made comments that were very disheartening to me about perhaps tinkering with Pomona and splitting us into 2 supervisorial districts because of comments made regarding Fairplex. All of you spoke to the desire of not splitting cities several meetings ago. And after you listened to the public, you corrected that at the next meeting by keeping cities whole. Your comments at the last meeting suggested otherwise. The overwhelming voice of Pomona in both verbal and oral comments has been to keep Pomona, all of Pomona, than SD1. Please don't split Pomona into two supervisorial districts. Pomona is one city. The Fairplex is in the city of Pomona and serves as a critical economic engine and cultural institution for Pomona and SD1, as evidenced by the role it has played during the pandemic. This is not the time to tinker with Pomona. We are one city. Keep us whole as you have done with other cities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ernest Lee and then Irene Muro. Ernest, you will have 1 minute.
Thank you very much, commissioners. You guys been doing hard work. My name is Ernest Lee. I'm the vice president of Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association, Chinatown. I'm also the resident in Monterey Park, city of Monterey Park. I want to speak in support of the map F3, which keep Chinatown and the West and Gabriel Valley community as a whole. And we have a lot of the economic, cultural, and social interconnection with Chinatown and the rest of the communities in the San Gabriel Valley. So we urge you to keep Chinatown in the same district as the rest of the community, District 1. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Irene Muro and then Eric Dunlap. Irene, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for your hard work on this very important task before you. My name is Irene Muro. I'm the Executive Director of Whittier Area First State Coalition. As a resident of the city of Whittier, I'm calling in today to ask the commission to ensure that in its final selection of redistricting maps, it prioritizes keeping the gateway cities together. As gateway cities, our communities are much more closely aligned with each other, from Whittier in our northern area to Long Beach and San Pedro in our southern area. Businesses and organizations in all of these cities work hand in hand to ensure that the needs of our community are reflected in transportation planning, housing and economic development, and efforts to improve air quality by leveraging resources and expertise across the region. Keeping the gateway cities together will ensure that our partnership and work towards strengthening this region can continue in addressing regional projects such as housing and homelessness. As a resident, community leader, and voter, I would like to request that the commission support map F3 and oppose map B4. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Next, we have Eric Dunlap and then Rosa Soto. Eric, you will have 1 minute.
Hi, good afternoon, commissioners, and thank you for your service to the county. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed, especially during the holiday. I'm requesting commissioners review the maps to see where it's possible to keep unincorporated communities with their current supervisor. I believe that most, if not all of the commissioners live in an incorporated city in the county and have representation at the local level from likely a city council member or a mayor. However, for the nearly 1 million residents of unincorporated LA County, their county supervisors are first level of government, and county departments provide municipal services. To me, it's unfathomable that in some communities such as Florence Firestone, Walnut Park, Rowland Heights, and Hacienda Heights, the first level of local representation would be a supervisor that they didn't have the opportunity to elect. These are communities that the supervisors and staff have worked tirelessly in. Building trust takes time, and many of them, such as Florence Firestone and Walnut Park, face worse health outcomes than others, and government can already feel inaccessible and confusing. I worry that redistricting these communities will perpetuate or increase these disparities. Thank you.
And then we have a hand for Commissioner Holtzman.
Yeah, commenter, just a quick reaction. This has come up in discussions among commissioners. This commission is not supposed to take into account existing relationships with political parties, with incumbents, or political candidates. So just so you know, when you say you need to be in the same district as your current supervisor, we're not allowed to take that into account. I'm sorry.
Next,
can I respond? No.
Next, thank you, Eric. Next, we have Rosa Soto and then Jose Miguel Ruiz. Rosa, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Rosa Soto, resident of Whittier, California. Thank you for your continued work, and I know how hard it must be to absorb all the conflicting information. I want to remind you from previous meetings that you've removed La Habra Heights from District 1. Whittier and Gateway cities are different than La Habra. Also is Rowland Heights and Hacienda different from La Habra. In map F3, which is the map I support, you added La Habra Heights in with District 1 and Rowland Heights and Hacienda Heights, but I believe this might be a mistake. Maybe you can put it back in District 4 without having to balance the population, since there's only around 5,000 people in La Habra. Please support map F3 and remove La Habra Heights from District 1, add it back into District 4 because it's a community of interest with Whittier. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jose Miguel Ruiz and then Ana Para. Jose, you will have 1 minute.
Hi, good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Jose Miguel Ruiz, Executive Director for Cultiva LA. I first want to start by thanking you for the timeless effort doing this arduous task. I come here speaking on behalf of food security. I do have a community garden in the Westlake MacArthur Park area, and we support map F3 that would keep Echo Park, Westlake, and Pico Union. These have been some of the most hit by COVID-19, and for the last year, we've been having food distributions, vaccine equity. So I ask that we encourage F3 and reject map B4. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ana Para and then Annette Rodriguez. Anna, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Ana Para. I'm a resident and homeowner in Whittier and long-term stakeholder in Supervisorial District 1 through my 30-year career in community engagement. I would like to urge support of map F3 with one minor edit. There have been numerous requests to place La Habra Heights in with its communities of common interest in District 4, such as Whittier and other gateway cities, and not with Rowland Heights and Hacienda Heights, which are not similar to La Habra Heights. The last map options indicated that this body did just that. However, today, map F3 has La Habra Heights back in SD1. I believe La Habra Heights can still be placed in District 4 without having to balance the population, since their population is approximately 5,000 people. Again, I urge you to support map F3, but please remove La Habra Heights from District 1 and add it back to District 4 with its communities of interest, such as Whittier, and as I said, the gateway cities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mayor Pro Tem Annette Rodriguez and then Chris Rowe. Mayor Pro Tem, you have 1 minute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, hi. This is Santa Fe Springs Mayor Pro Tem Annette Rodriguez. Thank you, Commissioners, for all your hard work. We really appreciate it. I am in support of F3. This map keeps the gateway cities together, and I definitely support that. Please don't separate us. Dividing us is a disadvantage to our communities as we work well in the gateway cities. Our communication from Long Beach to Whittier works, and to separate us would be at a disadvantage. I stress to you the importance of keeping F3 in place. The reason map 4 separates Whittier and La Mirada from the rest of the gateway cities. Also, it splits Santa Fe Springs and Norwalk into 2 districts. This is unacceptable, and I would like to ask the Commissioners to keep F3 together in District 4. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Chris Rowe, then Sissy Trin. Chris, you will have 1 minute.
Commissioners, I sent a letter to you during the evening. I don't know if it got into the hub or not. Again, I referenced the fact that B4 cuts the San Fernando Valley west side at the top of West Hills, and F3 actually cuts down into West Hills. When you take out the Chatsworth Nature Preserve from West Hills, you're taking out an area that has the fire department access for water for fire suppression. I ask that you put Chatsworth, West Hills, Granada Hills, and Porter Ranch in whole, and remove Santa Monica, please, and Beverly Hills, the flats, for balance of population for the San Fernando Valley to be whole more than it is now. Thank you very much for your time. And again, I've supported 93 as the best, but I've heard other testimony today about Burbank, et cetera. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Sissy Trin and then Lawrence. Sissy, you will have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Sissy Trin. I'm the Executive Director of SICA, the Southeast Asian Community Alliance. And we do youth organizing and public policy and COVID relief work in the neighborhoods of Chinatown, Lincoln Heights, and Solano Canyon. I am testifying on behalf of in support of MAP F3, which would keep Chinatown connected with Lincoln Heights, Victor Heights, and Solano Canyon. These are three neighborhoods that have a lot in common. You know, a lot of the populations, we have families and students who live in one neighborhood and then go to school or work in the other. They crisscross several times a day, and they also face a lot of the same issues and needs around housing, health, and economic justice. We need to keep these three communities together by supporting MAP F3. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, can I ask, this is the last speaker, what are those three areas again that you want to keep together? I'm sorry, I couldn't catch it.
It's Chinatown, Solano Canyon, and Lincoln Heights.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask where Solano Canyon and Lincoln Heights are, please? I think I know where Lincoln Heights is. Where's Solano Canyon?
Solano Canyon is just south of Dodger Stadium. So if you're driving from downtown on Broadway, you pass, and going towards Lincoln Heights, basically after you pass Chinatown, then you're going to have Solano Canyon, and then you cross the LA River, and that's Lincoln Heights.
Thank you, Sissy. We're going to go ahead and move on to Lawrence and then Milo Kirsch. Lawrence, you will have 1 minute. So Lawrence, whenever you're ready, please unmute.
Oh, sorry about that. I realized can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. My name is Lawrence from Claremont. Thank you for your hard work on these issues. I wanted to speak about La Habra Heights. I understand that La Habra Heights is being removed from District 1, or that it was removed from District 1 after adding it in because it's a community of interest with Whittier and the gateway cities, not with Roland and Hacienda Heights, which is more in the San Gabriel Valley. In MAP F3, you added La Habra Heights back in with District 1 and Roland and Hacienda Heights. I believe this might have been a mistake. You can put it back into District 4 without balancing the population because La Habra Heights is a lesser population, probably roughly 5,000 people. Please support MAP F3. Please remove La Habra Heights from District 1 and add it back into District 4. It's a community of interest with Whittier. And one more thing, it's also part of the Gateway COG, if I'm not mistaken. So please keep the continuity of the San Gabriel Valley and put La Habra Heights with the rest of the gateway cities, of which many speakers have mentioned they want to stay together. So I think I would like to support that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Milo Kirsch and then Maria Brunis. Milo, you will have 1 minute.
Thank you, Ty. I'd like to just speak on the supplemental material provided by Commissioner Holtzman to item 6A. As the mayor of Glendale very aptly put, the Tri-Cities is not a political fiction designed to fit Old District 5 or run an airport, and Pasadena does indeed have ownership and management in the Burbank Airport. Even though it's no longer called the Burbank Pasadena Glendale Airport, Pasadena is one of the cities that manages the airport, so it's rather embarrassing for somebody who purports to be so involved with the Valley and the only Valley commissioner to not really know who runs the airport in the Valley. Secondarily, Commissioner Holtzman also wrote, giving special weight to elected official requests because they come from elected officials is not what independent redistricting is about. Commissioner Holtzman gave about 10 minutes to Paul Krikorian in an earlier meeting. For what reason? I don't know, other than he also lives in the Valley. It's safe to say that this independent redistricting commission experiment has been a failure.
Thank you, Milo. And Commissioner Holtzman, do you have a clarifying question?
Yeah, quick reaction. I stand corrected on the airport. I had heard discussion that Pasadena was leaving the management, but I guess it hasn't. But a question for the commenter, which city is more connected with Glendale, Burbank or Pasadena?
May I respond? I don't know.
Yes, Milo.
My opinion is that Pasadena and La Cañada are all connected with Glendale. There's no metric for how well connected something is, but there also isn't this unpopulated area in between, as you suggest. Glendale abuts Pasadena and people live there. It's called Emerald Isle, and it's called the west side of Linda Vista and Annenberg.
Thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
Milo.
Let's
Thank
move
you.
on.
Thank you. Next, we have Maria Brenes and then Mary. Maria, you will have 1 minute.
Good day, commissioners. Again, wanted to thank you for all of your deliberation and hard work as the deadline nears. Inner-city struggle, along with our close coalition partners as part of the People's Bloc, have looked closely at both B4 and F3. Just a couple of hours ago, we submitted some key but minor modifications to F3 to strengthen it. To further unite historical communities of interest, including the San Fernando Valley, to unite Asian communities of interest in Supervisorial District 1, and to amplify Latino CVAP, ineffective Latino CVAP in SD4 and SD1. Thank you so much, and please consider our reference map in the coming days.
Thank you. Next, we have Mary and then phone number ending in 1616. Mary, you will have 1 minute. Whenever you are ready, Mary. Mary, I see you have unmuted yourself. So
Yes,
whenever
can
you're
you hear
ready.
me?
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm calling as a stakeholder in current Supervisor District 5. And what you have done in map 4 is you have came right up the middle of our canyon and you have divided our community. We are all within the Foothill Trails Neighborhood Council, and this is a mountain fire district and an equestrian district. And the way you've removed us and placed us in District 3 is totally unacceptable. Please put us back in. I support map F3, please.
Right.
Which canyon is this?
It's Latuna Canyon.
Okay. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next, we have phone number ending in 1616 and then John Mendoza. Phone number ending in 1616. You have 1 minute.
Yes, thank you again for the opportunity to speak before all of you. My name is Kathy Fink. I'm the CEO at the Santa Fe Springs Chamber. And like a lot of those before me, we are in favor of option F3. It keeps our gateway cities together. It keeps a lot of our chambers that work together in the surrounding cities. And we would like that to continue by supporting F3. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to make sure, what was the name again?
Kathy, and the last name is Fink, F like Frank, I-N-K.
Great, thank you. Next, we have John Mendoza and then Bob Frutos. John, you will have 1 minute.
Yeah, this is John Mendoza. I live in North Pomona, 4 blocks from the Fairplex. I just want to echo some comments that Fairplex will not be leaving Pomona. Fairplex will still be in Pomona, and there's portions of Fairplex that belong to Laverne also in the north section. What will change was the level of accountability and sharing of the resources and input from neighboring cities incorporated into the supervisorial district. I think you'll make a bold change going forward with a map. It's only 1/4 of Pomona when you're talking about North Pomona. And what it is, that's the most politically explosive probably community in the whole city because of the nature of Fairplex located next to it. And Fairplex and some of the other areas of, it's becoming like a political football game there. But anyway, North Pomona shares a lot of community interest with San Dimas, Laverne, and Claremont.
Thank you. Next, we have Bob Frutos. Bob, you will have 1 minute.
My name is Bob Frutos. I'm currently the mayor of the city of Burbank, and I ask you to please do not move forward with dividing Burbank, Glendale, and Pasadena. We currently have a lot of good joint use agreements from our airport, our crime lab, mutual aid, joint police helicopter operations. The Tri-City has been working good. It stimulates the local economy. There's a lot of Latinos, Mexican Americans that are growing in population that are living in Burbank and are also living in Glendale and Pasadena that we really need to stay together. So I asked the commission and Commissioner Holtzman, please call me before you make this final vote, because as I've been listening to you, there's a lot of information you're not being factual on and you just don't know about it. But there's a lot of great working relationships within the Tri-Cities that's good for everybody. And please don't do this. We like to stay together. And we have a lot of joint agreements together. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Commissioner Holtzman, do you have a clarifying question?
Yeah, clarifying question there. So how would you be with wrapping the entire Tri-Cities area into a district with the rest of the San Fernando Valley, District 3? Or does it have to be District 5?
I guess I really leave it up for more discussion on that, but I would say for what you have right now, based on the large population of the Tri-Cities, we've worked really hard. And as the mayor, it's really important for the economic engine here in our city because, Pasadena, they rely on this airport for their business. And we learned it during the last 2 summers ago, the civil unrest with our mutual aid and with the fires and stuff. So we have something great here. I mean, we're working together jointly for public transportation.
Thank you very much.
But how about the media business and Burbank being more connected
Commissioner
with the valley
Holtzman,
than the
Commissioner
North
Holtzman,
County?
you'll have an opportunity to speak when
We got the mayor
commissioners
on the
are speaking.
line, but okay.
Thank you. And
Thank
with
you.
that, that's our last commenter. Co-chairs, would you like to close public comment on 6A?
Yes, let's close public comment. We've been going almost 2 hours now. Should we go ahead and take our 10-minute break?
Yes.
Let's do that. Come back at 3:07 maybe, or 3:08.
I have 3:05, but if I
3:05.
might also mention, we can get Priti then maybe to prepare a quick overview of the additional maps that have come in since
Yeah.
Wednesday.
That'd be great.
Good.
3:05 then. Thank you.
I guess.
We have about 1 more minute before we come back. 1 minute warning. Actually, my iPhone differs from my computer, so it is at 3:05 now. I'm co-chairs.
Folks would make their way back.
So Gila, I think it should be 101 now.
I did note it was 100 as of this morning. So since the meeting started, it went up to 101.
Commissioner Wong, you might want to take a look at 101.
Yes, I'm trying to quickly look at the new maps. It's a little bit challenging, but thank you.
Okay, if we can gather back. So there've been has been mentioned, a number of new maps that have been submitted since we last met. And I think Priti has some kind of analysis of those.
Yes, I do. I'm just sharing my screen here. So as you know, we are up to map number 101. So I just wanted to go briefly over some of the maps that we have received. We looked at map OP093 submitted by Commissioner Holtzman. And as you can see, it brings District 5 in here. And then we have map number 94, and that is submitted by a private citizen. And the only catch here is that it has a narrow alley for District 5, which takes it all the way here. Then 95, that has been submitted by Commissioner Stetcher, and he has made some modifications. And we have looked at it. We have the updated scorecard for it. And he has moved the beaches, Manhattan Beach from District 2 into SD4, Pico Rivera from 4 to SD1, and Redondo Hermosa from SD2 to SD4. So there are some changes there that we can look at. Then I'll show you the others. We have changes. We have OP096, which is from Commissioner Kenny. And this is interesting because what she's trying to do is combine plans B4 and F3 into one. And she has some good suggestions where moving Santa Fe Springs to D4, then keeping districts 2 and 3 from B4, and keeping District 1 from F3, and she has some more changes there that we could look at. Number 97 is from Commissioner Holtzman, and as you can see that here, he is Pomona to District 1, And you can see how it comes down over here. District 1 comes down here, but that is something. And he says that Burbank, Glendale, in San Fernando Valley in D3. Then we have map 99 from Commissioner Syra Soto. And here she's saying, suggesting San Dimas in SD1 and the area below Westwood in SD2, Canoga Park in SD5. And finally, we just got 100, map number 100. And here again, number 100, we have this narrow passage, so to say, from District 5, it goes over here. So that is the unique part here. And the latest submission, which has just come through, is 101. And they're saying, and this is once again a refinement to the People's Block map that we have been reviewing. And they say that they're keeping San Fernando Valley as a whole. So this is something that we are still looking at, and it has some strengths in here that we should definitely look at. That is all I wanted to say. And I never thought we would cross the 100 mark, but here we are. And that's all I have to say.
And just very quickly on the map 101, it's not a modification of the People's Block's map. It's a modification of F3 by the People's Block.
That's correct. It's a modification of F3.
Okay, so I think we should have folks' reactions. We'll go in round robin. If you are able to say at this point that you would like, you prefer a particular map with some reasons, that would be fine. If you, want to react to some of the public comments, of course, you are allowed to do that. We've heard some of the same themes today. Over and over. Of course, you're free to suggest additional maps for us to consider, although I think we would do well to keep in mind commenter Henry Fung's comment that we are nearing the finish line and we should not be letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. We'll still have an opportunity to tweak whatever additional map, but we would have to be done by Sunday, which means it would be good if we can, before Sunday, get to a base map to tinker with. But unless someone else has a comment, I wanted just to go to round robin. Coach One, did you have something to say?
I was going to ask if we could put up the maps.
Good idea.
F3 and B4 as we discuss them.
I am getting it up now. And then in the data window, are there any particular variables, attributes that commissioners would like to have viewable?
Maybe there's just the general population chart that accompanies these. If people want to slide them back and forth, we could.
The city limits, please.
So I meant in regards to the data window at the bottom. So it's just keeping the standard there, but Commissioner Kenny, you said you wanted the city blocks, or not the city blocks, but the city and communities lines. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's going to be hard to see from far away, but let me know if you need it to be zoomed in or anything.
And I note that Commissioner Syra Soto has joined us, so that's great.
Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and then get started. The first is Co-Chair Williams.
Thank you, Ty. I listened to the comments and I think we've tried to answer a lot of them in terms of keeping Pomona in I think District 1. And I know we looked at making sure we connected the Fairplex. So we heard that, but that's something I know we've looked at, keeping the gateway communities together. What else? The Chinatown and the West San Gabriel Valley together. So a lot of things that were brought up are things that I think we've tried to pay attention to. My preference would be map F3 at this point. I like the shape of District 2 in map G and map B4, but I like a lot of the work that's been done on map 3. Let me look at the comments. I think, and I know there's still some things where we will be looking at if there's split cities or split communities. Those are some adjustments we will be what we are willing to make as we move forward on this. I think that's it overall, just in a quick look of the issue of moving Harbor Heights from District 4 to District 1. That's something we would be willing to look at. I think we just have to look at the numbers, see where we go with that. But that's we can make a note of that's something we'll decide how we want to handle.
I think it was the other way around, actually.
Okay, from D4, I have District 4 to thank you, to D4 from D1. Thank you. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Wong?
Yes, thank you. We have so many new choices, but I think, especially given some of the comments, there's generally, I guess, support to keep the gateway cities together, which is what F3 does. And it does basically keep similar to before the San Fernando Valley as whole as possible. And then it does, I think, keep together Pomona. From what I can tell, I can't exactly go in there, but it seems to keep Pomona together even better than in B3. So I am leaning. So I do support, I think, using F3 as the base map with some tweaking. And we did hear some recommendations on how we can do it. I think Commissioner Co-Chair Williams has pointed out some moving some of the cities like La Habra into the right place. And I haven't had a chance to really study the map 101, which has some kind of slight changes that, but it's an adaptation, a modification of F3. So that's another reason I'd like to go with F3 since so much work has been done with that. And I think it will be easier for us to modify. The only other new map that seems interesting that I would like to hear Commissioner Sarasota talk about her map, because she did modify 81. And I am just curious, to kind of hear about that and open to seeing if that's a possibility. Although I understand we have to come up with one, but given that, I think 81 is a modification of the F series too. So, so my preference is F3 and possibly 81, or I guess it's 99 might be a good option too. Thank you.
Commissioner Franklin?
Yes, thank you. At this point, I have no preference for either the maps. They can work, but before I make my final choice, I want to be specific regarding confirming which of these maps, one, does B map keep Pomona whole? Because that's a non-starter for me. If it keeps Pomona whole, or if it doesn't, it's important that Pomona be kept whole. Co-Chair Williams and Co-Chair Maeda, before we end, can Can you confirm that for me?
It looks like it's the same in both maps. Both of them keep Pomona together.
Hi,
Okay.
where are the fairgrounds?
The fairgrounds is, let me go ahead and zoom in a bit more for there. I believe the fairgrounds are over here.
And that is also in Laverne too. The fairgrounds go into Laverne.
Right.
It does, yeah.
Okay, so it keeps the fairgrounds that are in the city of Pomona in the same district.
Okay, so Pomona is hold in B, correct?
In both.
In both, okay. The other non-starter for me, again, before I make my final choice, Burbank, Pasadena, and Glendale, because we've heard testimony from the very beginning about keeping those communities together.
Okay, and so they look like they're kept all together in both maps.
Okay, great. And I just got two more. The next one, Universal City, not being split in two districts because of the land that they use for the park. So the whole of Universal City should be with one supervisory district. Is that in both?
So it looks like the whole Universal City is in both, in the same district as defined by the CSAs. I believe from the public comment, they had talked about other areas outside of these recognized borders.
You know where the parking lot is? Has anyone had a chance to look at the comments submitted by Universal Studios?
So I can eliminate on it. It was from, I believe, NBC, Universal Studios. And I think the concern is in Universal City, but if you go over towards the right, I believe their lot is just north of the 134 there. So it's that little area, and we would need to get some more details. But it was related to NBC Universal, not Universal City per se.
Okay. And I would like to know the percentage before we look at the final base map, the percentage of San Fernando Valley that is whole in map B, and maybe Ty can, come up with the calculation, map B and map F, the percentage of San Fernando Valley being kept whole, the whole.
Mm-hmm. I can do that during the next break.
That's what I would like, Ty. Thank you. I know that's a lot of calculations. And finally, the gateway cities. Coach Maeda, I did look for that, for looking for the list of the gateway cities that came through as in a comment or a written letter. I didn't see that. So
we could send it again, but Gayla sent over a list of the all the public written comments at a certain point, and one of the pages was a map of all of the gateway cities. It's quite a large area, but that was attached to that as page 11, I think, of that attachment.
Okay,
If you want
so
to make it available again and display it.
Right, because that will help me make my choice on if the gateway cities are captured more in map F or in map B. And
can I just say the ones who were speaking on behalf of the gateway cities preferred map F3.
Yes, I know, but I wanted to make sure in map B, if map B captured all of the gateway cities.
If I can respond to that, just living in the area, map B does not,
Okay.
but map F does.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's it.
Commissioner Holtzman?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
So first of all, if I could share my screen, I could show you why connecting Pasadena to Glendale is a bit of a gerrymander.
What map would you like to have up, and Ty can put it up so you can look at it.
All right, how about 98 then?
Map 98.
Want to comment while we're doing that, they are together in both of the maps before us right now, B4 and F3.
So
Both
so
of them
just-
keep the Tri-Cities together
Oh, good. Oh, good. All right.
in the
Thank
two
you.
maps before us.
Great, great. Thank you.
Again, those maps are not the only things before us for discussion. They're the two that the two teams have come up with when they were asked to update specific maps. Anyhow, so could you zoom in, please, on the border between Glendale and Pasadena? And then maybe just a little more zoom in, and then maybe flip back and forth between identifying using the COM layer, Glendale and Pasadena.
For my notes, what is this map number that's on the screen?
This is OP098.
Thank you.
So we have Pasadena and then Glendale. Pasadena, Glendale.
Okay, so leave the Glendale thing. You can see the right edge of Glendale is the only part that actually abuts Pasadena. And you can see it's in a mountainous, not particularly inhabited area. The two redistricting units there, I just wrote down the population. It wasn't much. It was a total of about 8,500 people in those mountains there. Oh, thank you. And you can see that actually when you're driving to Pasadena from Glendale on the Barack Obama Highway, you're actually in the city of Los Angeles. Most of that is just a mountain ridge that, there that the road hugs with. And if you look at the border between Glendale and Burbank, on the other hand, you'll see it's where there's habitation, not in the Verdugo Mountains. You'll see that it's dominated by streets and major thoroughfares that are continuous, that just merge from one city into the other. So, you know, to the extent that the people like the idea of the Tri-Cities, I'll let you know that we here in Burbank don't see services provided by the Tri-Cities. Now that they've changed the name of the airport, obviously I didn't even know that it was a Tri-Cities authority running the airport. In fact, it's connected to Hollywood. Another thing is, you know, this mutual aid between the police departments of the three cities, you know, they're allowed between cities that are in different supervisorial districts. So even if the three cities were split between two supervisorial districts, that would not jeopardize the mutual aid agreement that helped respond to the civil unrest, as one of the mayors said. And just that because Pasadena gets money from the Burbank airport, it doesn't require, again, that Pasadena has to be in the same county supervisorial district as the other two cities in the authority. Let's see. I mean, I could try and adjust my map to put Pasadena with the valley. I think that that's possible, but that would you know, probably have to disrupt some of the other important considerations. Now, what was I going to say? I'm okay with dividing the gateway cities actually into two pieces again, because both of those pieces would be substantial, and it would not in any way affect the ability of the gateway cities to have an association. In fact, it might even help them because they would have constituent services from two supervisors, not just one. Anyway, the way it looks like a very logical division there. This sort of tracks what's in map B right now. In fact, my map 98 here is a what I call an improvement on map B, designed to keep more communities together, like Chinatown and Solano Canyon or whatever that is up there, Little Tokyo, etc. And let's see. Okay, Pasadena is a city of 139,000 people. But Glendale plus Burbank is bigger. And I was making something, we're still in a situation where we've had presentations and staff work that has basically pitted two teams against each other. And I just think that's a shame that, we're gonna see a vote for a winner between two teams. That when I talked about this last time, Commissioner Mendoza objected to the use of the term raw material was given to the two teams, but they were each given, specific maps to work with. So when it comes to Burbank and its connection to the Valley, I think it's still important to consider the media and entertainment industry. And the media and entertainment industry in Burbank, at the very least, is of it's key to the industry and commerce of the Valley, which is supposedly what VICA is all about. I mean, Coach Maeda is actually in the biz. It's a big part of what it means to live in the LA area. So those are points I'd like to make. And yeah, so anyway, you can see from the beginning there that the Tri-Cities thing is a bit of a gerrymander. It's a thin, narrow land bridge over less inhabited, not totally uninhabited area between Glendale and Pasadena compared to the contiguous Glendale Burbank connection that's in the Valley. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, it's between the other two maps. I'm still looking at that and listening to your comments in case I have to vote for one or the other. So thank you for your time and attention here.
Thank you, Commissioner Holtzman.
Commissioner Kenny?
Yes, thank you. Could you zoom in on the downtown area in the two maps?
Of course. Would you like to zoom in a bit more?
No, I did look at the downtown area in map B4, and it is included in one district. I'm not sure whether the downtown area is included in one district or not in F3.
So in B4, it is part of D2. And then in F3, it is, I believe, in part of D, Supervisory District 1. But let me just double check. Yes.
Okay, and then do both maps keep Little Tokyo, Chinatown, and Koreatown in the same district?
No. So
Okay.
in B4, Little Tokyo, Chinatown is with Koreatown in District 2. But in F3, Chinatown and Little Tokyo is not with Koreatown. Koreatown is in District 2, and then Chinatown and Little Tokyo is in District 1.
Okay. There was felt it was felt that there was some value in keeping the Koreatown and the two historic Asian downtown districts in the same district, which map B4 does. Okay, so if you could zoom out on both maps. So what I did was I kept District 2 as it is in B4 to preserve the downtown area that was created by District 2, and also to preserve the airport influenced cities that are on the coast in District 2, rather than extending them to encompass a greater geography. I also wanted to keep District 3 the same as it is in map B4, because it incorporates more of the quote unquote San Fernando Valley. So and then the third thing I tried to do was expand District 4 to the north to encompass more of the gateway cities. But if in keeping District 2 and District 3 the same in map B4, the only community I could add to District 4 was Santa Fe Springs. So I was able to add Santa Fe Springs, and then make the northern part of District 1 conform to map F3. So it ends up being not huge changes, but I just wanted to point out that you could take aspects of the two maps and combine them. As far as where we are today, I really hope that we can vote on one of these maps today and maybe turn the map that we choose over to a working group, perhaps to work on tomorrow morning instead of meeting as a whole, and then report back on Sunday, so that we can pick a final map on Sunday. Thank you.
I have a question for Commissioner Kenny.
Yes, sir.
Point of clarification. I'm just trying to look at this right now. Which map is yours? Is it the one on the left or the right?
Neither one. Ty, would you like to put my map up briefly?
Is that
sure. It is.
Sure, let me go ahead and put it up right now.
And the reason I did this was in the interest of time. I mean, it took me, over an hour to create this map, and we don't have that kind of time in a meeting. So,
right.
It was just to help me figure out if it's done. If I wanted to include more of the gateway cities in District 4, but as we've heard from many other parts of the county, there is a benefit to having an area in two different districts. So, is this mine? Yeah.
Yes, this is OP096.
Okay.
The point was to incorporate more of the gateway cities in District 4. So I moved just the northern boundary of District 1 up to match map F3.
Okay. Ty, could you just zoom into the coastal area real quick by like Long Beach and Manhattan in that area?
Yep.
Okay, I see what you did there. Okay.
I don't know if you want to superimpose one of the other maps on this one, but the changes are not made. I just verbally told you what the changes were.
Yeah.
And
So
you
I
use
guess my point is that if we pick one map, we can still make similar changes to whichever map we pick, and then adopt a final map on Sunday.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Commissioner Kenny, and thank you so much, Ty.
No problem at all. Okay, so then we have Co-Chair Maeda.
I want to mention that Commissioner Stetcher could not join us this afternoon because of a prior strong commitment, but he did introduce a map. I think it's the one right after Commissioner Kenny's map. You can look at it, and it was an attempt to modify the B series further. And you can read what he said in terms of what he did, but I thought it was important to also provide a little bit of his reasoning, because since he can't be here. He says, after our discussions last night, I was still a bit troubled by map F3, which attached so many beach cities to SD2. Map B.
Coach Maeda, can we put up that map? I think it's map number 95.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
I can do that.
Pulling it up over here. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a good idea.
Okay, so this is OP095, modify option F3.
Right. So he's troubled by how many beach cities were attached to SD2. He thought map B4 was better in that regard. So he wanted to try to, emulate map B4 as far as the District 2 is concerned. But when he did that, it moved many gateway cities out of SD4. So he tried again to make a few modifications with the goal of retaining the strong, historically Black core of SD2 and not have it appear to be dominated by predominantly white coastal communities. The trade-off for the change, though, is that SD3 retains its traditional Black core, but becomes more Latino and less white. And as a result of the changes, SD4 changed in its composition. And he thought that the changes were justified on the whole, but particularly because the beach communities are more logically connected to the South Bay. But he understands that might cause some heartburn to folks. But
you mean SD2? You were saying in terms of
SD2 becomes a little bit more Latino, than previously under the B series, and SD4, because it now has the more predominantly white beach cities, it becomes more heterogeneous.
Hi, what is the district at the foot of District 2? What is the area? What is that?
Wilmington.
Oh, you can't take Wilmington
that-
away from the port.
So yeah, right. So he, anyways, he's trying to play with this, and that's what he did. He understands this is not going to be the final map, and it still needs tinkering. But this is an attempt to try to carry out what his issues were or his thoughts were in that. All right. Now as to mine. To me, between B4 and F3, I do prefer F3. First, I'm glad that VICA has now indicated that they're okay with either map, with both maps. VICA is okay with the F3 map. Not ideal, not the map they would have drawn, but acceptable. So that's good to know. I think F3 is better at addressing the concerns about the historic Asian American communities being joined together in this case in District 1. I think it does better with the gateway cities, keeping them together. Although, as somebody mentioned, the gateway city, their own definition is enormous. And so it's not clear we're going to be able to keep all of it together, but the seems to be the core of it is better in F3. And I share some of Commissioner Stetcher's concerns still about District 2 and its connection or non-connection to more of the beach communities. So that is still a concern I have. In light of that, I definitely want to elevate 101, the brand new map. It just came in, so you probably haven't had a chance to take a look at it. But fair is fair. I criticized the People's Bloc when it came up with 81 because I didn't think 81 was particularly responsive to the concerns that have been raised about the previous F-series maps. Whereas I think 101 actually it keeps the bones of F3, but it actually has some ingenious, what I think are kind of ingenious changes. So Ty, did you put up 101?
Oh, yeah, so 101's on the left and
Perfect,
F3's
thank
on the
you.
right.
So it, I think, reduces to some extent the amount of beach community. I could be wrong, actually. It looks like it does a little bit. That's in part of 2. It retains most of 4.
Could you focus in on the beach communities, please?
So actually, it doesn't reduce that much, if it does at all, but it does change it a little bit.
It does on the northern end of it.
Yeah, up on the northern.
Northern end.
Yes,
Yeah.
up north. it
Change it a
does.
little bit on the northern end.
Could you
Right.
show the cities, please? It looks like it breaks up some cities.
They may be able to be, that may be able to be tweaked, but
So this Westchester neighborhood in the city of Los Angeles is not kept whole in 101, as an example.
Okay, that's interesting.
That may be okay because it may be divided along the lines of the Bayona wetlands.
It looks
border.
like the wetlands, yeah, where no one's living, but still, I mean, that can be probably addressed if we need to address that.
Yeah. And we did have comments regarding the wetlands as well. Wildlife.
The other thing that it does, which is interesting, it specifically tries to keep all of the historic Asian American neighborhoods in one district, which is SD1. So it reaches out, I think, to capture Thai Town, if I'm not mistaken. But it also, interestingly, picks up on Commissioner Holtzman's interest in an entertainment district by uniting Universal Studios Burbank area into SD5. And we'll have to check the contours of that to make sure that we're not splitting NBC Universal Studios. But assuming we can fix that or address that, it's a different take on it. And it nevertheless doesn't really change the basic configuration of the District 3, which is the main Valley District, which, as I mentioned, at least FICA was okay with.
We had a comment on that, in particular, creating an entertainment district that would be in SD5. So looks like it resolved that or addressed that comment.
Anyways, I think that is definitely worth considering. I know it's late in the amount of time we have left, but this is really a map that starts with the basic F3 architecture and makes some changes that I think are, I kind of like. I mean, I have to study it further, but I kind of like these changes. And it addresses many of the concerns folks have had. I think it still keeps Pomona the same. We'll have to look at West Hills, to see how that has been modified, but I think it's something that can be tweaked if necessary. So I would like to have the commission consider dropping B4 and choosing to work on the F3 basic structure, but also possibly considering elevating 101, or at least just starting with B4, but looking to see if 101 offers compelling modifications.
Before we do that,
I have a point of clarification.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. You were talking over somebody. Who was that?
that was me. I have my hand.
There were 2 people. Okay, go ahead, Commissioner Franklin.
Okay. For clarification, looking at District 4, Ty, can you zoom in on Long Beach?
On both maps?
No, on this new map 101. Okay. So it cuts off at the border of Carson and does not touch any of the Long Beach areas.
It looks like it's whole.
Okay. One other question, Co-Chair, regarding the Asian communities.
Yes.
In map 4, the Asian communities are kept whole in one district, I think District 2, but in another district, they're kept whole in District 1. So what's, can someone clarify on which is better?
So I think the testimony primarily, maybe not exclusively, but primarily has been that there are Asian American communities, historic communities in District 1 right now that would, and they have relationships with other Asian American communities. China, as an example, Chinatown, which is like the old Chinatown, and Monterey Park, which is the new Chinatown. They go to the same temples, they shop at the same stores, that kind of thing. So that probably is a stronger tie than to put them in District 2. But I mean, I think the most important thing is not to split any of them, which we're
Correct.
trying to avoid doing.
Correct, but we've heard testimonies to keep Koreatown in District 2. So that's another thing. So so I'm still grappling with that. Of course, to keep the Asian communities whole in one district is paramount, okay? So now I'm dealing with District 2 or District 1, but for the assets, economic assets for District 2 for the downtown area. So if you move those communities out of the downtown area in District 2 and put them in District 1, that will impact the economic asset. So that's something I'm thinking about. Thank you.
Commissioner Bento?
Commissioner Maeda, thank you so much for your comments. I was curious, who submitted map 101?
It looks like the author is associated with the People's Bloc. I don't know if the specific person.
Got it. Yes, correct. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We also have three other hands. We have Commissioner Wong, Commissioner Morales, and Commissioner Mendoza.
Commissioner Morales, I think you were before me, weren't you?
It shows Commissioner Wong first.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess you can keep track. Thank you. Commissioner Franklin, I just want to explain, I know that sometimes, we get confusing testimony from different people representing different communities of interest. As I recall, I don't necessarily think the Koreatown advocates wanted to be in SD2 per se, but basically wanted to be kept whole. I think ideally, if we can put Koreatown and even Little Bangladesh, which is just north of Koreatown, together with the other historic communities of interest like Little Tokyo, Thai Town, and Chinatown, which is easier to keep together because they're on the other side of downtown, that would be ideal. But what they mainly wanted to do, if we couldn't include them in SD1, they just wanted to be maintained together and not be, because sometimes they have been cut. Their community has been cut into different supervisory districts. Just to clarify, but I echo what Co-Chair Maeda was saying. I think the strongest desire is to have those historic communities like Little Tokyo, Chinatown, and Thai Town, and historic Filipino town to be connected to the San Gabriel, parts of the San Gabriel Valley like Monterey Park and some of those growing Asian communities.
Right, but specifically Hypen M, the executive director of one of the large faith communities that deal with both economic and faith, talked about keeping Koreatown in District 2.
Commissioner Morales?
Yeah, as much as I'm enjoying the micro level that we're getting into this conversation, can we finish the round robin?
Yes.
Can we narrow down the maps, and then we can have lovely long conversations about how we're going to do this?
Good suggestion.
Yeah, my mom's birthday is still happening today, so I just want to say folks that it would be great if I can take her out to dinner.
Commissioner Mendoza.
Yes, I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm got to roll with the punches here that we're introducing potentially a new map. I'm looking at it, but I can't see the detail of how there's been a lot of talk about some of the changes, but I can't tell if there's changes between the northerly boundary of District 1 and the southerly boundary of District 5, meaning the cities that are what I'll call the foothills. What's happening there? I can't tell.
So I'm not prepared to talk about that. I understand the concern about expanding, and maybe the commissioner will decide they don't want to do that. That's fine. But I'm just suggesting it's worth looking, it's worth considering this new map, whether the working group does it, whether we all do it together, whether it's the base map or not. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and just in terms of the round robin, I think we still are considering B4 and F3.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
so we should put B4 up.
So
Yes.
B4 is now on the left-hand side, and
Okay,
in the round
great.
robin, commissioners, with map 101, I'm more than happy to overlay F3 if that's of interest.
Okay, so I'm done. So go to the next one.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Mendoza.
Thank you. We'll try to keep it moving. I have been saying in the last couple of meetings that the F series now are on 3. I had a hard time wrapping my head around it, but it's becoming easier to do. So I'm just about neutral between the B series B4 and the F3. I think that we should be doing some tweaking to these maps, maybe using the other maps that we're referring to, one of which was just a minute ago, and maybe Mr. Setchers, Commissioner Setchers and Commissioner Kenny's. I think there's some good things that could come out of that, so that we can come up with a good final map and go forward, not that we're going backwards or sideways. I want to make sure that, should I say, I want to sound like I'm patronizing the group, but that we're not simply going to make a change based upon the last comment that we heard from the last person or the last group. I'm stating the obvious, but everybody that called in was in favor of map F3. And I said, I'm neutral to it. That's the direction we want to go. I think it's a good map. And with regard to the F3 map and all the conversation we've had for as long as we have about keeping district together, one of the things that Gayla put up at the beginning of the not the beginning, but this item, agenda item, are the different cities and whether they're split or not. And I wrote down, took a picture and then wrote down East Whittier, South Whittier, West Whittier / / Los Nietos, Whittier. Having attended junior high and high school in Whittier, I like to think I have a decent understanding, working knowledge of the city. And from my read of what we're showing, or Gayla showed, there's 3 different districts that comprise Whittier. I don't know why that is. I don't know what was behind the thinking there. So that's a little bit of a concern to me, but maybe it's supporting something that I'm completely unaware of.
Could you zoom in on Whittier and map F3?
Yeah, I'm showing that it's, or the table that Gayla had shows that Whittier proper is in 1 and 5, and East Whittier, South Whittier is in West Whittier / Los Nietos are in District 4. So I don't know what the working group was doing there, but that's not keeping the city together for sure.
Commissioner Mendoza, part of the problem may be the Whittier Narrows. If Ty wants to enlarge that, the Whittier Narrows are not geographically connected to the city of Whittier, but it is owned by the city of Whittier.
Okay, that would explain 2 districts. And what about the 3rd?
We would need to look at it more closely.
Okay. Well, anyway, and the I guess finally, no, I wasn't objecting to only having or only been provided raw material, to an earlier comment by a fellow commissioner. I was commenting to the assertion that we were provided no latitude or limited latitude and autonomy to draw our own conclusions. So as a working group, I believe that we had that. So that's just wanted to make that statement. Thank you.
Commissioner Morales.
All right, I'll keep my comments short. I'm leaning more towards map F3 at this moment in time. I think we are seeing a kind of coalescing of the two maps, and some of these ideas are still things that we can tweak and really start narrowing down. So I think, for me, it's important to make sure we keep the gateway cities together. Definitely, I think we heard a lot of comment about that today, but there's still some of the other considerations that were brought up, especially the area around Dodger Stadium. So there's a few things I think we need to spend some time zooming in and figuring out exactly what's happening on the ground to be able to make those determinations. So I think it's also important to note that the People's Block map is basing it off of F3. And so there are some, distinctions that I think are at the micro levels that we need to spend a little more time in regards to that. So I'm leaning more towards F3 at this moment in time.
Commissioner Orbuga?
Yeah, hey, thank you. After this, careful looking at the way F3 handles certain situations, yeah, I'm advocating for F3, and to resist any kind of changes. There might be, like Mr. Mendoza just said, that Whittier area, when you look at that area, kind of aware of Whittier and North Whittier, and dividing that area is something that maybe we can tweak, noting that we probably have to compensate that. Something he just brought up and made to my attention. That's something to look at. My points is that Glendale, Burbank, Pasadena are in District 5, keeps them together. That's a good thing. And that also includes the foothill communities. So Pasadena, if you run along the 210 freeway, basically everything there is in District 5. That's a good thing. It's a corridor. Number 2, the Gateway area is, yes, they have common interest from up to almost Whittier. And then number 3, Chinatown, the greater Chinatown area, dividing what they call Solano Canyon and Chinatown from Lincoln Heights, and the State Historic Park there, also known as the Cornfields. Separating that is not a good thing. So this map keeps those areas together with the West San Gabriel Valley, Chinatown to Monterey Park. There's almost a community of interest between those two areas. And so I'm pretty advocate of F3 with maybe some tweaking to the Whittier area. Thank you.
Commissioner Priscilla Orbanel, Segura?
Yes, my preference leans towards map F3. I did make an observation that Commerce is not included with the Southeast LA communities. And having worked in a water district that covered Southeast LA, Commerce was often identified within Southeast LA. And I do recall that comments were made to include Commerce, or rather that Commerce was part of Southeast LA. So I think perhaps that could be one item for discussion. Outside of that, I think all the comments have been captured through other commissioners regarding keeping gateway cities together, keeping the foothill areas together. So I'll just keep my comments short.
Commissioner Jaime Soto?
Yes, thank you. Based on public testimony and also just looking at the maps, it looks like I'm leaning more toward map F, green. With the changes maybe that the People's Block submitted with map 101, I'm glad to see that they went and looked at our took into consideration our concerns and modified an existing map that we elevated. In terms of, there was a little bit of public testimony about La Habra Heights and moving that into District 4. With the population, it will take it over if you just move, even though it's 5,000, it will move it over. But I think removing the northern part of kind of like where the Rose Hills, Riondo Community College area, Spyglass area, if that got shifted over to District 1, it would balance out. In terms of keeping the gateway cities together, that's the majority of the 2 million people, what's considered gateway cities. It's good. I think the only ones that were excluded are Montebello, Pico Rivera, and Commerce, and the city of Compton from the gateway cities. And I think, yeah, maybe we could also look at putting back Commerce into District 4, but I think that might create some population issues for District 4, just because it's I think the largest district on the F3 map. And District 2 looks fairly compact. District 3, in terms of San Fernando Valley, I know there have been public testimony. I'd just like to look at the West Hills area, making sure that that's all kept within the, not being split from the San Fernando Valley. Other than that, I think it's something that will be supportive of if we elevated one map and potentially provide with the caveat that we'll still have an opportunity to fine tune and move some of these, make some adjustments, including looking at the 101 map more closely. Thank you.
Commissioner Saider Soto.
Apologies for being late today, and I do regret having missed public comment. I'm certainly leaning towards map F3. I think it is strongly responsive to keeping communities of interest together, cities together. I think it's also thinking about, to some extent, right? I think in thinking about like the AAPI communities, how to ensure that their communities are kept as whole as possible. And I think that is the case, I think in F3 as it is in looking at District 1, looking at keeping Koreatown whole in District 2. And I think in terms of District 4, I know that when we were making modifications to this map, it certainly was tough to keep control of the population count in District 4, because everything, a lot of the public comment sort of, you know, like for example, keeping Southeast LA cities together, the population in Southeast LA is quite large, right? Same thing with the, my goodness, the gateway cities. Those are also very large cities. And so I think there's very little room there to add to District 4 already. And then I think, you know, in terms of District 3, I think that map F3 is also very responsive to the communities that are your more low socioeconomic impacted communities as together as possible. I think it's also responsive to the Native communities that wrote in to ask that they be, like if you were to zoom in slightly to that northwest part of the district there. I know that we received some public comment about just the work that they've been doing over the last, I think, 5 decades or so to try and in working with the communities that are in District 5 to try and bring about some improvements to that area. And then I think in District 2, I know that I'd like to, again, do a little bit more work to support I think this idea that we want to make sure that those communities of interest that are largely dealing with issues around sort of housing, health access, access to healthy foods, etc., have an opportunity as we move into this next decade to elect candidates of choice that are going to support their needs, as well as I think supporting keeping as much as the beach cities together. As I know we heard from them, right, about the work that they've been doing to try and I think improve some infrastructure or get some response to infrastructure needs in the area, as well as, of course, wildlife and natural resources in that area.
Next, we have Commissioner Bento.
Okay, everybody, I'm gonna try to be quick and reiterate a couple things here. I am in favor of map F3 with modifications. I would like to echo some points that Commissioner Maeda said. I have been studying map 101, and so there's some things that can be overlaid with F3. I do like the idea of creating with Commissioner Holtzman and what Commissioner Maeda said earlier about and combining Universal Studios and the Burbank and the Disney into one economic empire district. And then I do have to reiterate what I liked mostly about Commissioner Stetcher's map, everyone. And I think his point is relevant about the number of cities, beach cities that are in District Number 2. And so that is something I think was poignant and relevant. And and finally, I will just say this, Commissioner Morales, if you're happy, I would speak on behalf of the commissioners that we'll be happy to sing your mother happy birthday.
Okay. With that, I believe all commissioners have had an opportunity to speak.
I just want to comment on that. I don't think you've heard all of us sing.
You might not want that.
It's not necessary. I will tell her you send your regards. It should be okay.
Commissioners, I can pull up the Gateway Cities COG map from their website if people just want a quick overview of that.
Sure, that might be helpful.
I also see a hand from Commissioner Mendoza.
Yes, question, co-chairs. Do we have a targeted finish time for this meeting today?
I don't know, midnight, you think?
I thought it was 10.
So in respect to Commissioner Morales's mother, I was hoping we would certainly not go into the dinner time, but not necessarily is the answer, Commissioner Mendoza. I'm hoping in the next few minutes we might be able to have some positive action, however.
Thank you.
Can I make a comment? I mean, I should have been doing keeping count, but it seems like the majority of the commissioners are leaning toward map F3, that we would move that forward and continue to tweak it. Because if you look at B4 and F3, and even if you want to consider map 101, they're basically, we're moving in the same direction. So we can do that as a motion if we're ready to say we'd like to move forward with map F3, which means we will, just moving forward with F3, and we will no longer consider B4.
I have a comment about that.
Okay.
Before I can vote on that, I need to know the percentage of San Fernando Valley that is being kept whole. And then if we think about F4, having Wilmington in District 2 and not District 4 is not going to work. So I can't, so if we can get that one question regarding the percentage.
Okay, and just to respond, this does not mean we can't make changes to F3, regardless of what the percentages are. We will still be able to tweak F3, make changes, because I think that we all have some concerns.
I know, but I just wanted that on the record. That's all.
Franklin, Wilmington is in District 4 in map F3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, thank you.
And I think in our meeting, we had the question was, what's the percentage of San Fernando Valley in one district? And we thought they were, and Ty said they were probably about equal. I think it was like 78% or something like that.
So in B4, the rough estimate was about 72, 73%. That was a rough estimate. And then in F3, the only difference in the San Fernando Valley area is the Lake Manor, the northwest area that Commissioner Sayre-Soto pointed out earlier, as well as part of Sun Valley, the more rural part of Sun Valley got moved from District 3 to District 5. And so my guess is that it's still above 70% for sure for F3. But given time, I can do the calculations.
And if you could calculate it both ways, the percentage of the San Fernando Valley that's kept whole, and also the percentage of the largest San Fernando Valley containing district that is San Fernando Valley residents. In other words, the voting strength of the San Fernando Valley in that district. It's two different calculations. I have a spreadsheet that does both. It's easy.
Okay. I made a motion, and I know there were some questions. I mean, and are we ready for that motion? Is there a second? Is it clear?
Second.
I think it is good if you make a formal motion so that it's clear, and then you can invite the second.
Okay. I move that we move forward with one map, and that would be map F3 for us to continue to consider. And I move forward that we move forward with just one map, and that's map F3.
A point of clarification, would that preclude advancing for consideration this map 101?
It does not. It means we can tweak map F3 based on whatever map we want to, or whatever criteria, whatever we want to consider. So I'm not saying what we can't do. I just want to move forward with F3 as a consideration, and whatever references we need, we will be able to use that.
So it wouldn't preclude a resolution to advance 101 for public comment on the same way as your motion would advance the F map.
And I'm sorry to speaking out of turn, but it isn't really, we already elevated F3. So isn't the motion really, we will not proceed with B4? Isn't that really the motion at this point?
Okay. So we want that. I'm okay to change that. We will, because if we move forward with F3, I'm thinking that's basically saying we're not moving forward with B4, but if I need to change it, I'm okay with that. Holly, which ones is it? Do I need to be clear about what we're doing with map B4?
Since you made the original motion, if you want to withdraw that and then restate it as the motion is to eliminate B4, that's what I recommend you do, if you want to do that.
Okay, I'm okay with that. So I withdraw that motion. I'd like to restate it. I'd like to move that we eliminate B4 for further consideration as our final map.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh.
Commissioner Sayre-Soto seconds. Further discussion, Commissioner Mendoza.
Okay, is that originally it was that we were going to move forward with a map, a single map, that being F3. So now the motion is to eliminate B4, and the possibility is that there can be any number of other maps added by resolution or by.
It's open.
Well, right now we only have two maps under consideration, B4 and F3. So we're eliminating B4. That's one motion right now. That's the motion that's before us.
And it's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? Ty, let's take roll.
Okay, commissioners, please be prepared to unmute your mic. Commissioner Wong?
Yes.
Commissioner Franklin?
No.
Commissioner Holtzman?
Yes.
Commissioner Kenny?
No.
Co-Chair Maeda,
Yes.
Commissioner Mendoza,
No.
Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Obregon,
Yes, of course.
Commissioner Orpanela Segura,
Yes.
Commissioner Haile Soto,
Yes.
Commissioner Saider Soto,
Yes.
Commissioner Bento,
Yes.
Co-Chair Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Are there any other motions to be heard today? Commissioner Holtzman.
I move we commend to the public an examination of map 101 without necessarily, but that's it. I just move we commend to the public and the sorry, let's restate that. I move the commission recommend that commissioners and members of the public have a look at map 101 at their earliest convenience.
Okay, I don't know if that's an action item or just an exhortation. I don't think it's something we need to actually vote on, that you recommend something.
Okay, I'll make it a little stronger then. I'll withdraw the motion. I recommend that the commission post visualizations of map 101 on the agenda for our next meeting.
I mean, different than what it already is posted. So
No, you posted on the agenda as we're doing with now we're doing it so people can see that it's come in and consider it. I mean, I think I thought you, Commissioner Maeda, were interested in seeing further consideration of the map.
yeah, well, I'm looking for a motion to elevate 101. And I
Okay,
don't know whether there's appetite for it or not, but that's what I was looking for.
Totally. There's totally. How would you like that I phrase the motion? I will phrase it how you would like it.
Why don't you just move to elevate 101?
I move to elevate 101.
Is there a second?
Second.
Who was that?
Commissioner Saider Soto.
Commissioner Saider Soto seconds. Further discussion. I will just note that clearly it might look like we're going backwards, but in fact, it is basically a tweak of F3, which we've already elevated. But I can perfectly understand if folks just want to stick with the one and power through that. I get that as well. Any Commissioner Mendoza?
Yes, if this, I understand there's a motion, a second. If this map is not elevated, we certainly can refer to it, take parts of it, integrate it into the current map if there is one, correct?
Absolutely. We've never rejected a map and said, no one could look at the, this is dead to us. We've never done that. So it's always still available. Any of the maps are always still available. Okay. Commissioner Orpanela.
Thank you. So what, I guess the question is, how do we benefit from elevating it then?
It raises it to the public consciousness that this is a serious map we're considering. I mean, Commissioner Holtzman could speak to that, but that's the way I view it as.
And I'm
I asked the question earlier, and I haven't looked at it, so we're considering it yet. We haven't really had a chance to examine it. At least I haven't, so I'm a little concerned about that.
You can vote against it for that reason,
or abstain. Yeah, I mean, I see Commissioner Mendoza looks like you're on a phone, so you might not have seen the display of the map on the screen. Sorry about that.
No, I did see it, Commissioner. I did see it, but I was asking for it to pull in closer so we could actually look at the different cities. I wasn't able to get it a close enough look, and I didn't think that was the time to do it either.
Okay, so two things. One, I think it's important. I would like for the commissioners and the public to seriously consider the concept of a media entertainment zone that it shows. And secondly, I think it might be time to respond to Commissioner Mendoza's concern and show the map again on the screen before we vote on it.
Commissioner Saider Soto, then Co-Chair Williams.
I was just gonna share that I understand the motion to ask, it's an ask of the commission, as well as, of course, it puts it forth for community. Letting them know that this is a map we're considering seriously, to take a deep look at it. And same as a directive to the commission to focus in on map 101. So it's more than, it's an actual formal, I think, request, as I understand it, to the commission to consider it.
I think that's right. Coach Williams. You're muted.
I call for the question.
Okay. Commissioner Holtzman, you don't have anything that would, do you object to the call for the question?
Only because I would like to get Commissioner Mendoza the opportunity to see the map again before voting on it. I think he wanted that.
Coach Williams, are you comfortable with showing the map again? Or should we just take a vote?
I'd like to take a vote, and because he will look at it, but will he be able to understand it and examine it at the level he would like to? I'm not sure, and I guess I'm concerned with. I want to be fair, concerned with the issue of time.
No,
and
right, and I don't want to take unnecessary time. People, it's been a long meeting, but the question that I asked was, how does it affect the communities in the foothills? And I didn't get an answer, and I was trying to look at it, and we switched over to something else.
Well, that would certainly be a matter of focus if in fact it's elevated, or even if it's not actually.
That's one thing. Even if it's not elevated, we can still explore that, whether we're looking at F3 or whatever. My preference would be to move forward with the vote.
Let's go ahead and vote. Time.
Okay, commissioners, please be prepared to unmute your mic. Commissioner Franklin?
No.
Commissioner Holtzman?
Yes.
Commissioner Kenny?
No.
Co-Chair Maeda?
Aye.
Commissioner Mendoza?
No.
Commissioner Morales?
Yes.
Commissioner Obregon?
No.
Commissioner Orpanello Segura?
No.
Commissioner Haile Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Saida Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner John Bento?
Yes.
Co-Chair Williams?
No.
Commissioner Wong?
Yes.
Motion fails.
Okay.
By one vote. Oh well.
Now.
See a hand for Commissioner Kenny?
Yes.
Do we need a motion regarding establishing a working group to look at map F3? And how do we make the tweaks to map F3 in order to pass a final map by Sunday? This is Friday at 4:30.
So that is the question. I'm sorry, Holly, go ahead.
I was going to say that to establish a new working group, it had to be on the agenda. And since this was noticed so quickly, we don't have a separate agenda item to establish a new working group. But you can direct one of the existing working groups to tackle that.
Well, it would be the one that has been working on the F maps.
Exactly.
Presumably.
Exactly.
Do we want to do that?
I'm not sure when they would do that, since our next meeting is tomorrow morning.
So that's the question I wanted to raise. Should we do that? We try to do that in lieu of the meeting, or should we just gut it out, have a meeting, all of us just look at it and then make the choices and pass it out and then vote on it on Sunday? Commissioner Holtzman.
In light of the fact that we've had a lot of comments complaining about the last minute springing upon the public of changes, and in light of the fact that the working group work is done behind the scenes, I think at this point I would strongly resist a motion to again send this map behind the scenes for further work. I think we can work on it as a committee of the whole. And I think that's what the public would generally expect of a commission at this juncture.
Mendoza.
I agree with Commissioner Holtzman. I think we should tackle it. We're down to the short strokes, as they say. And I think we should do that together as a whole group.
Do we have a quorum for tomorrow morning, Gayla?
Based on the doodle, yes, we do.
And Commissioner Vento has his hand up.
Commissioner Vento.
I support that. And Gayla, how many people are actually going to be there tomorrow? I know I'm not one of them. I couldn't be there, but I was just curious how many.
I can open up the doodle right now, but I think we had at least 10 or 11. So I can check for you and get back.
You could have just a brief show of hands here in the the virtual world of folks.
That would be more efficient.
I don't want to lose track that Commissioner Kenny had her hand up before I suggested that. So,
Commissioner Kennedy, do you have a comment you want to make?
I'm drawing a blank on my comment now. Gayla, can you have a list of the comments to map F3 by the time we meet tomorrow morning? You have your digest of comments.
Yeah, so I've already inputted all of the oral comments, and we can certainly go through the ones that have been submitted for this meeting.
Thank you.
They're all sorted, just so you all know. If you click on the public comment, this is really for the public. All the comments pertaining to map B are together, and all the comments to map F are together. So it is already pretty well sorted. What I had prepared, which I believe Commissioner Kenny is referring to, is sort of a digest of where there were specific changes suggested.
Let's do the show of hands then for tomorrow morning. Is 9 o'clock, was it?
9 o'clock.
Or I guess we could do it that way too, but.
I count 11 hands.
count 11, yes.
And I believe Commissioner Stetcher was available as well.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's what we should do. Any other fruitful discussion before we get to the other agenda items?
Could you remind us what's the time tomorrow morning? How long is it scheduled for?
Well, I don't know that there's an end date, end time specifically. I would certainly hope it wouldn't break into the UCLA basketball game, which starts at 11:30 or something. But I mean, you know, we'll go as long as we need to. I'm hopeful that we'll be done before noon, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry for laughing. But when you said that, Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond came to my mind, which is not true, but that was the first answer.
Commissioner or co-chairs, I guess if we have from my standpoint, of course, if we have a sort of anticipated completion time, maybe we get things done a little faster if we know what we're up against. You know,
you might be right. Let's definitely try to get done by noon, but even better would be by 11:30.
And let me also encourage all the commissioners to look at the Excel spreadsheet that is posted and I put on the slide, because it does show you very precisely the cities and unincorporated areas that are in one area versus the other. And
tell us where that's posted again, Gayla.
Ty, it should be posted with today's meeting, and it's also been emailed to all of you.
Right, and I can put the link in the chat as well.
And I'm thinking if we can come with a list of tweaks we'd like to see made, we might find there's a lot of agreement in the direction that we're heading. So that might be a way for us to tackle it and move quicker.
Commissioner Vento.
Yes, I would make a suggestion. I like the way when we did the working groups, how you reminded us of the time. That kind of kept us on track when we were. I don't know if you remember that, how we just kind of like kept moving forward. I think that would be a really good suggestion. And then I have a question for Holly. Holly, are we going to have a special closed session tomorrow as well?
We weren't sure which meetings we were going to have in the time management, so we had listed closed sessions just so we could make sure we hit it at least once. And we did that today. So I don't anticipate that we'll be having any closed session tomorrow.
Okay.
Let me also mention you've been going for almost an hour and 40 minutes into your last break. Do you want to just power forward on the last two agenda items, or do you need a break?
Power forward.
I would like to power forward. Yeah. Commissioner Wong, you have something? You're muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you. I would just really encourage people, even though MAP 101 wasn't officially elevated, I think if we look at that, it may have a lot of the corrections we may need. So, which will move us forward. So that's just what I would encourage people to consider before tomorrow morning if they have time. Thank you.
And also one of the conveniences with Ty's, what he can do is he can overlay the MAP 101 over your F3, which will help you to focus more specifically about what modifications they made. It'll help because your conversation can be around the foothills and all the borders.
Good idea.
Commissioner Holtzman and Co-Chair Williams.
Yeah, I'm old and I pretty much need a break now. I'm sorry, but I really do.
Co-Chair Williams.
Oh, I wanted to say and put forth that tomorrow our goal is to finalize a map, since we're now down to one, to work to create the final map so that we don't have to have another meeting. So that we can, well, when I say it that way, but there's a lot of things that have to be done to get ready for the final report, and Pretty needs to take care of things. So tomorrow our goal will be to work diligently to get this final map done, and hopefully before noon.
Okay. Next on the agenda, then, if we're going to power through.
No break?
I apologize, but
I'll be off screen for a bit.
No, I understand.
But I might want to stay on screen because I have lots of comments about the report and motions.
So I don't think we're ready on 6B because you haven't come up with a final map. Holly, do you want to weigh in on that? Because I think really maybe just 6C, the resolution.
That's what I think. I'm prepared to present a few brief comments and share my screen on a red line version changes to the resolution. So with the consent of the co-chairs that we skip 6B and go to 6C.
I'll put it back up.
Okay.
We're skipping 6B and we're going to 6C.
Right.
Okay. What I just wanted to do briefly is I had provided you all the working drafts of the two resolutions, and just structurally, we anticipate having one resolution that adopts the map, or what's called in the statute the redistricting plan, and then a separate resolution that adopts the report that explains how the commission achieves compliance with the statutory provisions of the election code. So there'd be two separate resolutions, and those are the drafts that were in the materials for today. So in terms of the form of the resolutions, they're generally fairly straightforward. If you have an opportunity to review them, if you want to email me any tweaks or something, I can do a red line in the future to present to the commission. But generally speaking, I try to structure it so that we could agree on the form language, and that the dynamic part of it would be the attachments. So if we can agree kind of on the foundational form language, and then the attachments are going to be what is in flux between now and Friday. I do want to call your attention before we open it up for public comment and then commissioner comments, is some changes that I'm going to preview for you that are coming. If you all can see these are some changes, and I will circulate these later. These happened, we're in a real dynamic situation right now. So these changes are ones we're considering that just came up from as a result of some meetings on the data that we need to get to the county on Wednesday. So these are paragraphs 2 and 3 from the resolution adopting the plan, not the final report. I don't have any proposed changes about that resolution. But on this one, based on what we understand that the registrar recorder needs, and in terms of sort of the data, we need to get them in the information, I have some proposed changes to paragraph 2 of the resolution, which clarifies that the redistricting plan is essentially made up of a few components. One of them is the GIS shapefile from the final map. So while we can't attach, for obvious reasons, the software file to the resolution, what we can attach is a printout of the map based on that shapefile. But to be clear, it's the shapefile, it's the GIS shapefile that is going to be the map. I mean, the redistricting plan, in combination with a listing of the census tracts and census blocks, or, and this is a piece we're still trying to sort out, if we can list the RDUs and then tie those RDUs to census tracts and census blocks, that is what we'll do. These changes make clear that that it's the GIS shapefile data that is the redistricting map. And so if there's any kind of weird fuzziness on a printed out map that can't get to the granular data, people understand it's the GIS shapefile. So one issue we're trying to anticipate is, because we have such a short period of time here, there could be inadvertent, just technical errors in listing the census tracts and or census blocks and or RDUs on the exhibit that may or may not match the shapefile. And so we wanted to provide a mechanism, and that is what this new paragraph 4 is a mechanism to enable technical adjustments. This is for your consideration on if we find that, oops, one of the census blocks, for example, inadvertently made it into SD2 and it should be an SD1, or I mean SD4, for example. And when you look at the GIS shapefile, sure enough, that was what was intended, that there's a mechanism for these minor technical adjustments. That's the first piece. The second piece is we have learned from the county registrar recorder that something that he does for all district-based jurisdictions, so not just the county, but for all cities that have district-based city councils or special districts, anytime there is a boundary line that cuts through a parcel, he adjusts it to ensure that the parcel, and I hope I'm stating this correctly, is within the same precinct, voting precinct. So these are just technical things that are usually adjusted. So the resolution allows for some of these technical adjustments, but makes clear that they can only be done if they don't materially affect the population within each district. So they're not allowed to do this if it throws our deviation out, and they have to use a uniform methodology to do it. So this is a live, still working document that I hope to have a further version that I bring back to you on Sunday. But if you've had a chance to look at it and have any specific feedback for me, that would be great. If you have any clarifying questions, I can take them right now. Otherwise, we can go to public comment and then bring it back to the commission.
Commissioner Kenny, then Commissioner Holtzman.
I do have a clarifying question, which is in paragraph 3 of the resolution that you just showed, which is adopting the redistricting plan. It talks about parcels, and I don't know what a parcel is.
A parcel, a parcel is a legal description for land. So it is, it's
A
like as a
house,
land,
right?
yeah, a house, a
Your
lot,
house, your residence.
a lot.
Tax
one-
assessor parcel, right?
Right. So one example is, when we had that feedback from NBC Universal that was talking about, oh, well, part of our property is over in one district and part of our property is in
That would have
another.
been a separate parcel. That parking lot, I'm sure, is a separate parcel. But the you're saying that the RDUs split parcels? Split land parcels?
I was in the meeting. Do you want me to sort of explain the differential?
Yes.
So parcels have to do with property ownership. When they develop the census, they just overlay the geography of where they want to put things. So the example I was given is you might have a house and it's been identified to be in a certain block, but your parcel property line, maybe the back 15 yards of your yard is in the other successorial district. So what they'll do is they'll look at it and say, well, the original intention was that this needed to be in this successorial district versus the other. It won't be in a lot of cases, but apparently it does happen.
Can we ask them to report to us which parcels they adjust? How common is this?
We can talk with him and bring it back, and we can consider putting that that in the resolution.
But to be clear, the intent is to not change any population from one residence to the other, or I'm sorry, one district to the other.
Right.
Right. It's just making sure that if you own property that's a little bit in one, a little bit in the other, that's no good. Let's put it all in one. That's all.
Right. And what I'll do, Commissioner Kinney, is I'll talk with them and find out, how often do they do this? For all I know, it's only 10 instances they need to do it. I just really don't know. I do know that it's done by them for all. It's not specific to the county. It's done for anything that has districts, all of which have to be filed with the registrar recorder.
Commissioner Holtzman and Commissioner Hyler Soto.
Thank you. Counselor, I have a clarifying question. This looks very similar to what the County of San Diego's resolution looks like at this point. You said that you've been meeting with people about this. I think it'd be good for the public to know what your sources are for this, who you've been meeting with, and where you got the basic contents of this draft, that's who you've been in contact with about it. So I'd just like you to, for transparency's sake, let us know where this is coming from. Thank you.
The comment, when I said we've been meeting with people, I've been talking about with staff, Gala, and Priti have been meeting with the county folks to make sure that we deliver exactly what they need, that they will consider acceptable. So it's those meetings that I'm talking about.
Where's this draft coming from? Because it's got to be coming from some common source with San Diego, because San Diego's looks very much like it.
They copied mine.
They copied yours. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to
No.
Did you get it from a
Commissioner Holtzman?
guy?
It's no Commissioner Holtzman. It's no accident that many of these look similar. It's a resolution is not the place where a lot of creativity happens. It is in the attachments where the creativity happens.
So did you look to a previous county resolution doing adopting districting? Just so we know. Where did you look?
Did I look at a previous county of LA? We absolutely looked at the last ordinance that the county adopted to see what they historically have used to describe what goes in a district. And it's there that we saw that they have historically always used census tracts and blocks. They have not used RDUs. So that did inform, absolutely, I did look at that.
And you borrowed some of the language from that. I'm just trying to get, whatever, anyway, it's not such a big deal. I just wanted to basically say who you've been meeting with and where the draft language was coming from. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Other clarifying questions?
Commissioner Haile Soto, then Commissioner Sider Soto. You're muted, Commissioner.
Not necessarily a clarifying question, but I think discussion about the parcels sometimes it would just be along riverbeds or easements, railroad tracks where there might be discrepancies. My experience has always been those are the areas where you won't, you'll have, especially when the parcels might traverse city boundaries as well. So it doesn't happen that often, but I think that the language added in the resolution should be helpful to make sure that our deviations remain the same as closely as possible.
Commissioner Sider Soto.
I agree that given that we are the first independent redistricting commission in the county, that it makes sense, as Commissioner Kenny stated, that we close the loop and see about getting a report of these actions, so that for the next 10 years, if questions shall come up, we're all clear on what we adopted and what changes came post. So Holly, I think the question then comes to you. Is that something that you can inquire about and hope that we can get some language?
Well, I will draft some language and add it on here that says for any under that paragraph that for any adjustments made, the registrar recorder should file, a report of all the changes that were made, and then we can distribute it to the commission.
Commissioner Wong.
Thanks, Holly. Yeah, just to quickly make it clear. So if we have any suggestions, I don't want to do that now, but we could just send it to you, right? Redline it or whatever.
Yes, that's
okay.
Fine.
Thank you.
So are we ready to go to public comments on this?
Yes.
Okay, great. Ty, do we have any public comments?
Yes, we have one person with their hand raised. So let me go ahead and get the timer up. So James Yang, you will have 1 minute to make your public comment on this agenda item. Okay. So it seems that James has left the Zoom. Right. So with that, I don't see any other for agenda item 6C. Co-chairs, would you like to close the public comment?
We'll close public comment and we'll move to executive director's report.
Are there any other commissioner input on this? I think, you can provide input to Holly directly if there's, tweaks or whatever. Commissioner Holtzman? You're muted.
Better, thank you. Our laws are different than the laws have been in the past. These whereas clauses go through stuff about our laws, and I'm not sure that all of that is necessary. So my general comment is, it looks like there's way too many whereas clauses, and I will leave it at that for now.
Thank you.
Think about that.
Any other comments? Okay, next on the agenda.
Mute. So it looks like we're meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. and you all have the Zoom links. It also looks like there will not be an executive closed session, so your time can be devoted to the maps. Depending upon where you get through Saturday, we do have still scheduled the special meeting for Sunday, December 12th at 3 o'clock, and then a meeting starting at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, December 15th. That would be the latest date if it's not done on Sunday for the resolutions, adoption of the final report, and the shape files being submitted to the registrar recorder. And that is it.
We moved something to.
Oh, we moved the minutes.
The minutes
You are
to
correct.
the end.
You are correct. Let me go up over to which ones those are. those are the minutes that are before us, and now we can skip the executive report. I apologize.
And the Commissioner Holtzman provided some tweaks to some of these, which, you know, were corrections and so forth. So they were non-controversial. Any other corrections, revisions, typos, et cetera, for December 1st, December 5th, or December 7th minutes?
Just a comment about December 7th. The last time I looked for those minutes, I did not find them online. Sorry about that. So I'm not prepared to vote on them.
Okay, well, if that was a omission for some reason or whatever, we can hold that off. Commissioner Morales.
Yeah, just that for the last meeting, yeah, that would be the 7th. Yeah, the 7th. I would like to abstain on that particular set of minutes, just being that I was late and didn't capture all of it.
Just to confirm though, you're not pulling them yet. Do you want us to pull up to confirm that the December 7th minutes are posted?
I'm checking right now, Gila, and they are not posted.
So we should not do
Okay.
those, just do December 1st and December 5th.
Apologies. Lots of moving pieces around here these days. We will post those and we'll take them up the next time, but December 1st and December 5th, any additional corrections, revisions, et cetera, to those draft minutes? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes as drafted and as revised.
So moved.
Commissioner Wong moves, Commissioner Mendoza, I think was seconded. Any further discussion? Let's vote.
Okay. I will now take roll call. Commissioner Franklin,
Yes.
Commissioner Holtzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Kenny,
Yes.
Co-Chair Maeda,
Aye.
Commissioner Mendoza,
Move for approval.
Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Obregon,
Yes.
Commissioner Orpanela Sakura,
Abstain from December 5th.
Commissioner Soto, Haile Soto,
Abstain for December 5th as well.
Commissioner Sider Soto.
Yes.
Could you please clarify whether you're voting yes on December 1st?
So moving back, Commissioner Orpanela Sakura,
Yes on December 1st, abstain on December 5th.
Commissioner Haile Soto,
Yes on December 1st, abstain December 5th.
Commissioner Sider Soto,
Yes to both.
Commissioner Bento,
Yes to both.
Co-Chair Williams,
Yes to both.
Commissioner Wong.
Yes to both.
Motion passes.
Thank you, everybody. And I believe that is it. And so just before 5 o'clock, we're able to adjourn. And Commissioner Morales, happy birthday to your mother.
Yes, happy birthday
Yeah,
to your
happy
mother.
birthday.
And
Happy
very happy to know.
birthday.
see you all tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Apollonia, you take her to the Nixon Steakhouse.